So in the last part, we saw that after seeing an email from Nick, Terusa and Michael had gone to play a game, and initially they thought that they had been taken to some place away from the city and a game was going on. But later it was found out that they had been brought to a deserted island to play. The first game was played between 4 people, including Terusa and Michael, in which Terusa and Michael won. Thomas was very upset there because he could not find any opponent, and then it was revealed that Nick had chosen Misha to play with Thomas, and she had also come to play this game. Seeing Misha there, everyone was shocked at how she came here, meaning no one expected her. I was there and did not even think that Misha would come to play such a dangerous game. And then Nick tells me that it was I who called Misha here by giving a magical key to your friend. Now Ben says that she too must have gotten greedy for the keys. That's why she must have come to play the game. Well, then Nick shows them a video and tells them that just as here 8 players are playing the game, in the same way, at some distance, another group is playing. The people who lost in the game have decided to go from there and unfortunately got killed. Then Charles says, yes, those people were killed by drones, and hearing this, Terusa's condition gets worse. He gets shocked, and then Thomas tells him that yes, there are some drones roaming here on which a bomb has been planted, and if anyone tries to escape from here, the drones will eliminate them, and this is not an ordinary place, it is actually a lonely island. Now Terusa asks Nick again, what is your motive behind playing such a dangerous game? Meanwhile, Ben says, whether Nick is good or bad, what does it matter to us? I have come here to win as many keys as possible. If only I get them, then the job will be done. Then Nick tells us that by winning all these games, in the final also, the winner will not only get a lot of keys but will also get a huge prize. Michael, John, and Terusa have all played the first round. The game of the remaining 4 contestants will start in an hour. To win, small sacrifices will have to be made. Terusa angrily asks, was the death of my father taken away by you? Was it a small sacrifice for you? Nick laughs and says that I did not say so. But yes, this question does not matter at the moment. Here, if you want, you can win this game and avenge your father's death. Well, prepare for the next round. Saying this, Nick leaves. Now Thomas says to Misha, why are you so nervous? You came here of your own free will. She says no. When I returned home from the office, some men had kept my mother and my brother captive, and then Nick called me and threatened me that he is sending you a key. Come and play the game with it, or else your brother and I will take my mother's life, and I had to come here only to save her life. Now Terusa says to Thomas that now the life of Misha's family is in your hands, make her win somehow. But Thomas says, okay, I just want to save my life. Winning means that if I lose, then my life can also be lost. From here Terusa follows Nick and then comes to know that he is talking to someone on the phone, and in the meanwhile Thomas comes following Terusa. Terusa says, by the way, our phone is not getting signal here. Then how is the signal coming on his phone? Then Thomas says, I saw a tower in the forest. Maybe only Nick's phone is connected to that tower. That's where those killer drones got us. Charles and I were attacked. Perhaps he was stopping us from going near that tower, and when we were running away from there, I also saw a boat on the beach. We were thinking of climbing on it and escaping when another drone came and blasted that. Terusa says that if it is so, then when you and Misha will be playing the game then I will go and connect my mobile with that tower, then call someone in the city for help. Let's see what happens. But yes, one more thing, if my plan is not successful, so please somehow you lose a round for Misha's sake, otherwise the poor girl's family will be destroyed. But Thomas leaves without giving any answer to this. On the other hand, Misha is looking at the photos of her mother and brother, and then Terusa shows her a map. It shows what Thomas had made when he was roaming in the forest. It tells us that if we hack the computer of this tower with the help of your Yoroki app, then by contacting someone in the city, your mother and your brother can be saved. It is possible that Nick has kept both of them hidden, but Misha does not know where they are kept at this time. And then the Yoroki app on Misha's phone tells her to connect with that computer, and then I can send information to all the people of the city. I can control the CCTV camera and can easily find out where Misha's brother and her mother are at the moment. Terusa says okay, and he tells Misha that Thomas is very clever and remembers you in any situation. Don't let him play first, otherwise, he will use his superpower to defeat you. And anyway, I think you will not be able to defeat him in terms of tricks, so it would be better that you watch his every action carefully and act accordingly. Move on, this is how you can win. Then Ryan is shown calling Terusa and Thomas, but both of them come up as not reachable. He also asks Boxer Mark, but even from him there is no information about Terusa and Thomas. On the other hand, Terusa is going towards that tower by following the map made by Thomas, and here the game of Misha and Thomas starts. Thomas is about to put his key on the table when Misha stops him and says, listen, there are many such games. You have already won by playing, so if you carry your key this time, then whichever monster comes out will tell you about your power. But I am playing for the first time, I do not know about my superpower, and this is a big advantage for you. It will happen, and my chances of losing will increase here, so let's work. My key will be used in this game so that I also know about my power, so that when the demon comes, he will tell me about my power, and then I will help you. I will be able to compete. Thomas also finds her words right, and he says, okay, go ahead and put your key in. On the other hand, the game starts between Charles and Ben. Ben is not an ordinary man but a Japanese chess game expert and has never lost a single game to date. His IQ is much higher than the IQ of a normal person. And now we don't know what will happen to poor Charles. Here Misha puts in her key, and the monster appears. This is the new monster with one eye, whose name is Elba. He tells about the game. The name of this game is Gold Gun, Silver Gun. This is the price box, which will be like a bank. When I put my hand on it, it will show an amount. You have 2 boxes. There are 2 types of buttons in it. One button represents the thief, and the other represents the common man. If any of you gets greedy for money, then you have to press the thief button in your box. And if your opponent also presses the thief button, if pressed, the lights here will go off for 10 seconds. At that time, the one who shoots his opponent first will get the prize amount. Thomas asks if I pressed the thief button and Misha pressed the common man and I shot Misha. What will happen if given? Elba says that if you become a thief and shoot a common man, then as a penalty you will be fined 3,000 points, i.e., you will be given negative points. And yes, one more thing, listen carefully. If you have pulled the upper lever of the gun and did not put it back in the correct position, and at the same time the light also went off, then the gun still shot. Remember, no matter where the gun shoots, its attack will be on your opponent only, and whoever has more points at the end of the game will be the winner. And here Elba freezes Thomas and tells Misha about her power. This is your first game, so I am going to tell you about your superpowers. If you want Thomas to press the thief button in his box, then all you have to do is think in your mind that he will press the thief button like this. If he picks up the box, then he will definitely press the door thief button, but yes, there is a problem in this. If he gets hurt anywhere in his body and he bleeds, then he will automatically come out of your superpower, meaning then you cannot control his mind. After explaining all this to Misha, Elba then makes Thomas normal, and the game starts. $5,000 is at stake in the first round. The amount is very high, but at this time Misha is in a dilemma whether to choose a thief or a common man. And then she remembers what Teresa had said, that Thomas wins the game through tricks, so you can win the game only by thinking from his angle. Teresa had said this, and she remembers this, then Misha understands that the amount is so much. If it is, then Thomas might be thinking that I am going to press the button of a thief, but no, I am going to press the button of a common man. Thinking this, she secretly presses the button, the light goes off, and as Misha had expected, Thomas quickly takes out the gun and shoots, and because Misha had selected a common man, Thomas has gotten minus 3,000 points. But Thomas is not worried at all. On the other hand, Teresa is shown he is searching for the tower. It turns out that Yuki is following her. She says, I was angry with you that you defeated me, but now I am also worried about you because you have my magical key. Without that key, my life will become 0 again if anything happens to you. So that key will never come to me. That's why I was chasing you. Suddenly a drone comes to attack them, and these people escape and stand on the edge of a high rock. Now, before the drone throws a bomb on them, both of them jump down. On the other hand, the next round starts, Misha says with the intention of diverting Thomas's attention. You had defeated Teresa only, being such a clever player. If you lose to me, it will be a big insult to you. But this Thomas will not get trapped in her trap. Then both of them press their respective buttons, and the light goes off. This time also it is Thomas who shoots because he had selected the thief. But he did not even think that this time also Misha would select the common man. Because of this, Thomas again gets minus 3,000 points, that is, now his total points are minus 6,000, and if both of them had selected thief and the lights were off, then the one who shoots first gets the points. And you already know, whoever shoots a common man will get the same number of minus points, and the opponent will not get any points. On the other hand, Michael goes to meet Nick and says that initially, due to your pressure, I agreed to play this game, but I have started liking the game very much. You are really a mastermind. But Nick says that I just run the games, it's mastermindy's someone else. On the other hand, Teresa and Yuki both got hurt due to jumping from the cliff. But Yuki was badly injured, and now she can't even walk. She has bandaged her leg, and then Teresa says, you stay safe here, I will go alone and search the tower. You are not kidding. So many drones are roaming around with bombs. If, after you leave, any drone drops a bomb on me, then what will happen to me? If you are at all concerned about me, then pick me up from here, please do the same. Teresa, feel pity on her and pick her up and walk away. Then the third round starts. But in this round, thinking about what Thomas was thinking, he throws his gun. But Misha knows that he definitely has some plan. He throws the gun, but still thinking that the chances of winning are higher, she presses the common man button, and the light goes off. As Misha had expected, this time Thomas does not shoot Misha, and when the light turns on, it is revealed that Thomas had selected the thief. Now Misha has chosen a common man. Now, if Misha shoots a thief, then she will get 1,000 points, but Misha does not shoot Thomas, due to which Thomas gets 1,000 points, i.e., $1,000 of the bank goes to Thomas, and he wins this round. But Thomas already had minus 6,000 points in his account, that is, after winning 1,000 points, now he has minus 5,000 points. Let's go to the fourth round. A total of $10,000 is kept in the bank, but Thomas says, this time also I do not need the gun, and saying this, he again throws the gun back. Misha has only one option left, and that is not to take any wrong decisions now. But she is unable to understand that. After all, what is Thomas going to do there? In the forest, Terusa and Yuki had found that tower, and here Misha does not want to lose those $10,000 kept in the bank, and this time she selects the thief. She thinks that this time Thomas will definitely select the thief, that is why, as soon as the lights go off, she immediately shoots Thomas, but instead of one gunshot, 2 gunshots are heard, and when the lights come back on, it is revealed that both of them have selected the thief. Not only this, there is no bullet on Thomas's board, but there is a bullet mark on Misha's board, whereas Thomas had not even picked up the gun in his hand. Misha is shocked, and so are we. How can this happen? So now Thomas starts laughing that perhaps you have not heard the rules of the game properly. If the lever of the gun is pulled before the lights go off and is not put back in its position, then when the lights go off, it will automatically shoot, and it will shoot wherever it goes. If I shoot, then the opponent will hit someone, and I took advantage of the same rule and won the game, the round. And now Misha realizes that Thomas had deliberately missed the first 2 rounds so that this role does not remain in Misha's mind. Thomas says, now do you understand? Well, there are only 2 rounds left, he says. Listen, to defeat me, you will have to win the next 2 rounds. But no, I do not think you will be able to do so. And now, Thomas, there were minus 5,000 points, so now after winning 10,000, he is left with 5,000. On the other hand, Terusa and Yuki reach near the tower, but if they open the door, a bomb will explode because there is a bomb on the door of the tower. Nick has made such a setting that if anyone comes, the bomb will explode. Now Terusa sees it through the glass window, and instead of opening the door, he breaks the glass with a stone, and then after going inside, he connects Yuroki to that computer. The timer of 1 minute starts, then Yuki shouts, do it properly, you will have to give 4 passcodes in the computer. Only then will this bomb be disabled. If even one goes wrong, the bomb will explode and you will be burnt to ashes inside. The timer is running very fast, but Terusa is not tense and closes his eyes and starts thinking about something. On the other hand, the 5th round of Thomas and Misha's game is going on. This time there is $5,000 in the bank. If Misha wins it, then they will both have $5,000. Now thinking all these things, Misha decides to use her superpower this time and tells Thomas that this game is getting very boring. To make it interesting, why don't you take my box in this round and I take yours? Thomas says, wow, this is a very good idea. Saying this, they exchange both the boxes. Thomas says that now, if both of them select thief, then the game will be drawn, and then the 6th round will become even more interesting. What do you say? Now Misha also says yes, but as soon as the lights go off, both of them do not shoot each other, and then the lights come back on. So it turns out that Misha had selected a thief, but Thomas had selected a common man. If Thomas had shot Misha, then Thomas would have gotten 5,000 points, but since he did not shoot, then Misha would have gotten 5,000 points. But now Thomas is not able to understand how this happened. He had selected the thief, so how did this button of a common man get selected? How can this button not be changed? But Misha knows that with the help of her superpower, she mind-controlled Thomas so that he would select only a common man. On the other hand, in the game going on between Ben and Charles, Ben had defeated Charles very easily, and here the 6th round of Misha and Thomas starts, this time with $10,000 in the bank. Misha decides to use her superpower again. If Misha does this, Thomas will press the button that Misha wants, and then Misha again thinks in her mind that Thomas should select a common man and is very confident. She will win this game, so she herself presses the thief button, but when the light is off, Thomas shoots Misha, and when the light comes on, it is revealed that both of them had selected thief. Misha is shocked. She asks, how is this possible? What happened to my superpowers? Why didn't they work as well as I wanted them to? And then Thomas laughs and says, what did you think? I would cheat again and again when I pressed the steal button, but actually, when a common man was selected, I became suspicious that you were using your power on me. I came to know that your power can control me only when I touch the button with my hand, that is why I pressed the button with my hand. Instead of touching it, I pressed the thief button with a pen. Did you see? That's why you couldn't control my mind. When you were expecting that I would select a common man, I selected the thief as per my wish. After hearing this, Misha cries a lot that now no one can save my brother and my mother. On the other hand, Terusa and Yuki are busy trying to enter the correct passcode on that computer, and then Terusa remembers the map given by Thomas, in which these people had taken the path by which they reached this tower, which was in the shape of a Z. That is, if we look at the keypad, it is 1379. Then Terusa thinks that perhaps this will be the passcode, and he enters the same number in the panel, which was also correct, and finally, in this way, the bomb gets deactivated. Now Terusa hacks the computer and traces the location of Misha's family, which was kidnapped by Nick. He immediately gives the information to Ryan and Mark, and they fall there and meet Nick. After killing the men, they rescue Misha's mother and brother. Now Terusa also quickly comes to give this good news to Misha. Misha hugs him and starts crying and says thank you. Now Terusa asks Thomas if I can access Nick's computer. Had I not been successful in hacking, would I have still defeated Misha? Thomas laughs and says that I knew you would definitely hack Nick's computer. If I had lost in this game, then my life would have been linked with my magical key. It would have gone to Misha, but if she lost in her next game, not only her life but also my life would be in danger. It would have been better if I had won this game, then now it would be Misha's. I have the key, and with that key, Misha's life will also be safe with me. Her life will not be in danger. And then Nick comes and says that your next round will start in an hour. Then Michael comes there, and then Nick leaves. Terusa goes and asks him, "Are you in cahoots with Nick?" Michael says, "Oh, you are misunderstanding me. I found this out by getting closer to Nick. That actually there is a boss above Nick who has 50 magical keys already. The final winner after winning all the games here will play Nick's boss. And after an hour the next game will start again, which is a team game. Terusa and Yuki are in one team, and Michael and John are in the other team. The game master is Lisa, who says that the name of this game is Basket Fruits. Each player will have 15 wooden blocks that contain 3 pieces of gourd, orange, fig, apple, and pear. There will be 3 blocks. The value of each fruit will be indicated through dots on the same block. So, at the beginning of the game, you will have to place any of your 5 blocks forward. Your opponents cannot see those blocks, but the blocks you place will be divided according to those fruits. Some pieces will roll in the field. Imagine if Yuki says that there are 5 apples in the field and you think that she is wrong, then you have to say that we doubt it, but keep in mind that the word doubt has to be used. Only then will I say this. I will reveal how many apples are actually there in the field. If it turns out to be much less than the number told by Yuki, then you will win that round. If it turns out to be correct, then Yuki will win and the opponent will be eliminated from the game. There is one more condition in this game, because if 4 of you are playing, then it is also possible that in one round all 3 of you will put forward the blocks having the same fruit, which means then there will be a chance of having 12 pieces of the same fruit in the field. If this happens, then there will automatically be scope for doubt, and it will be checked whether there are really 12 pieces or not. If there are not 12 pieces, then you will get points, otherwise, points will be given to the next players. After explaining the complicated rules in this way, Lisa starts the game. The first turn is of Yuki, who says, in the field, there are 5 pairs sitting next to him. John uses the word doubt, then Leha shows the cards lying in the field, of which there are only 4. Which means Yuki's answer was wrong and she is out of the game. Here John gets points. Now, John says that there are 3 apples in the field. Terusa thinks this is wrong because apples have the most points among fruits, so it is not possible to land any apple block in the field in the first round. Then Terusa says that I have doubt. After hearing the word doubt, Lisa checks the pieces lying in the field and finds out that there is not a single apple in the field, and due to this, John is out of the game and Terusa gets points, but John also laughs after seeing Terusa and goes away and sits, as if there is some hidden trick in it. When Terusa's turn comes, he says that there are 8 gourds in the field. Actually, in this game, gourd has the lowest value, so Terusa thought that in the first round, everyone must have fielded gourd, and now the opponent's turn comes to answer. But Michael says, I thought you would win this game, but you got cheated. Yuki and John have been eliminated because of this. You and I have clearly established what fruits were in his blocks, and from that it is clear that they had only 5 gourds, and I do not think that you would have used more than 2 gourds. As for me, so this time I did not even put my gourd in the field. That means your answer is wrong, so I doubt your answer. Hearing the word doubt, Lisa checks and says that there are only 7 gourds here, so in this round Michael wins and Terusa gets eliminated. He says to Terusa, I have closely watched every move of your game. You cannot win with me in this game. On the other hand, Misha wants to help Terusa. She feels that Nick has those 5 magical keys that must have been hidden somewhere in this house. If they are found, then by destroying them, we can escape from here. With this intention, she starts searching for those keys with the help of Yoroki, but Yoroki tells her that every room here is full of garbage and the key is nowhere. Then she sees that many birds are flying at a place in the forest. Misha suspects that Nick might have hidden the keys there. that is why she goes towards that place. Here Yuki consoles Terusa to listen to the next one. You will definitely win in the round. And then Terusa tells you that you don't know about Michael. In school he could not hold the baseball bat properly, but he learned a lot by watching my game. One day he played even better than me, and when I asked, last night you didn't even know how to hold the bat, and how were you able to play so brilliantly today? So tell me what you said. I watched your game and learned it by practicing all night. Yuki understands that Michael has learned a lot by watching Terusa's game. He can also learn further, and then in the next round John and Michael win. In the third round also Terusa and Yuki are unable to win, and now the fourth and last round is about to start. If Terusa loses in this too, then all its keys will be taken away, and he will be eliminated. Here, someone is following Misha in the forest. She gets scared and hides behind a tree. Then suddenly YouTuber Charles comes in front of her. He holds Misha's hand and says, "You are very beautiful. Let me make a video of you, Misha." While she is trying to free her hand, Thomas comes there and grabs Charles and his friends and says, "Next time if you look at her, then I will break both your hands and legs, and then neither of you will become YouTubers." He gets scared and runs away from there, and here the last round of Terusa and Yuki is about to start. But meanwhile John tries to flirt with Yuki by placing his hand on Yuki's shoulder and says, "After this game, we both go for an outing. Let's go," saying, "What do you say?" He goes away, then Terusa comes and asks, "Why did he come here? What did he come to do?" Yuki says nothing. "He flirted with me a little and went away," and here Terusa starts getting suspicious, and he hugs Yuki and whispers something in his ear about which nothing is being revealed at the moment. But now John comes to Michael and says that you will have to win in the next round, otherwise, you will never be able to defeat Terusa. I looked at Misha's shoulder. On the pretext of placing his hand, a small mic has been set on her. With the help of these wireless earphones, you will be able to listen to their words easily. We will also be able to know from their words which fruits he is going to plant in the field. First of all, Michael refuses to cheat, but later he agrees. At the beginning of the next round, he sees that there are 6 oranges in the field. He says that there are 6 oranges in the field. Actually, John had fixed the mic on Yuki. With his help, he had overheard the conversation between Terusa and Yuki, so he says very confidently that yes, I doubt Yuki. On this, Game Master Lisa checks and says that your answer is wrong. There are only 3 oranges in the field, and like this, Michael gets eliminated in the first round. Michael gets upset that he lost, and then Terusa reveals that when Yuki told her that John had touched her shoulder unnecessarily, Terusa got suspicious, and on the pretext of hugging Yuki, he saw that the mic was fixed there, and he deliberately lied in her ear that in the first round you will throw 3 oranges in the field, and after that I will throw 3 oranges. Hearing this, Michael gave the wrong answer. Similarly, at the last moment, Tyrus ousts Michael with the help of Yuki, and now only John and Yuki are left. By defeating John with a similar trick, Yuki's points get added to Terusa's points to win the game. Terusa needs only 5 points, but here John uses his superpower, through which if he looks into someone's eyes with one of his eyes, then he will know what he is seeing. Then, by looking into the eyes of Terusa, he tries to find out which fruit blocks, but Terusa understands his trap very well, and closing his eyes, he turns the blocks upside down so that John cannot see anything, and then, using his superpower, Terusa sticks those blocks in the same position for some time. After some time, the time of John's superpower ends. That's it, and Michael laughs at this, that after all we were successful in bringing out Terusa's superpower, and now Terusa will not be able to use his superpower again in this game. And now I will use my superpower so that I can defeat you. I will also question her. Will you answer only yes or no truthfully? If you will not be able to lie, then tell me, there are 3 apples in your blocks, right? Yuki shouts that Terusa should not give him any answer, but Terusa says yes, and hearing this, friends, Michael is shocked for a moment. Michael feels very happy, but when he looks at Yuki, she is smiling. Michael understands that this time also Terusa has definitely played a trick. That is, if Terusa has answered yes, then perhaps he is lying, and if he doesn't have an apple, he tells John that I can say with certainty that Terusa has put all his apples in the field, so there must be at least 5 apples in the field, but Terusa is lying about 3 apples. And after agreeing with Michael, John also says that there are 5 apples in the field, but when Terusa uses the word doubt, then the Game Master, Lisa, comes and directly says that Terusa and Yuki have won this round, and this is because Terusa and Yuki also laugh a lot. Terusa says that I have been watching all your drama since then, John. Instead of focusing on my game, you were trying to understand Yuki's expression so that you could know my game moments from her expression. Guess what? I had given such training to Yuki to mislead you. In the end, through your superpowers, you people found out that I have 3 apples, but still, due to Yuki's acting, you were deceived and fell into my trap. Michael and John get irritated and leave from there. On the other hand, Misha and Thomas come back from the forest. Terusa asks, Where is Charles? Thomas says to leave him wherever he is. Well, we have found a place in the forest where Nick has hidden something. Teresa also says, okay, both of you stay ready for the next game. Till then, I will go to the forest and check that place. End. In this way, when Teresa goes into the forest, there is a cave-like place on the way, and now when Teresa tries to get inside it with the help of a rope, the rope becomes loose and he is about to fall down. But then someone catches the rope, starts pulling Teresa up and sees it is none other than Teresa's own friend Michael. Michael says you are looking for the place where Nick has kept all his keys hidden. Come, I will tell you, but Teresa says, well, how can I trust you? Michael says, what are you talking about? You consider me your enemy. Am I your friend, and will I always support you? I am close with Nick only to help you. This happens so that he trusts me and tells me all his secrets. Even if I win the game and get all the keys, I will help you only. But Teresa says, sorry, friend, why didn't you tell me all this before? I am silent. I misunderstood you. It was, yes, no problem. Well, I have come to know that Nick's boss is very expert in playing games. And right now I am trying to find out more information. Let's see what happens. Then the announcement will be made on the loudspeaker there. It happens that the next game is about to start. In that game Misha and Thomas will be in one team, and Ben and Charles will be in the other team. Now in the next scene, Thomas is shown, who is having some nightmares in his sleep about the death of his mother and sister. He gets up quickly and starts muttering, when will these nightmares stop? He got upset by this, so he quickly drinks water and goes to play the game. Now on the other side, Teresa and Michael reach the godown in the jungle when Nick comes out of the godown with his men, and after they leave, both of them enter inside the godown because there is no CCTV camera visible there. On the other hand, Ben was watching the videos of his wife and children. Thomas and Misha are roaming inside the house because it will take an hour for their game to start, and then Ben comes from the front, and Thomas deliberately collides with him and, on this pretext, takes away his mobile. Misha scolds him that taking other people's things like this is theft, give it back. But Thomas says that it is important to know the weaknesses of your opponent, only then will we be able to win the game. And now the game is about to start. Then Ben says, listen, Thomas, return my mobile back, so Thomas gets shocked. If you knew it already, then why didn't you ask for it back? That's because you can't know any weakness of mine by watching the videos of my mobile. And then after burying the key, Game Master Elba is called, Who Tells? The name of this game is Clay Game. A player of the first team will go inside through this door and can write anything on a paper there. Then the player of the other team should go there and copy whatever is written on that paper with clay. It will have to be made like a model. For example, if Misha goes inside and writes a star, then the player of the next team will have to go and make a star made of clay. Then someone from the opponent team can also make some changes in that star. Then the team that made that model will have to make a star out of clay. The player will have to find out what exactly has been changed in that model. Apart from the player going inside the door, the one outside will be sitting on a chair in an almost unconscious state. When that player comes back out the door, only then will you guys see him again. In the first round, Charles goes inside and writes dog on that paper, then he becomes unconscious as soon as he sits on his seat. Then Misha comes inside and makes a dog out of clay, but she does not stop here and also makes a dog for that dog. She also builds a big house. As soon as she goes out, Ben comes in, who closes the door of the doghouse with mud and comes out. Then Thomas goes inside, and now he has to find out what changes Ben has made in this model. But now the problem is that there are two models, one of a house and one of a dog. Apart from Charles, only Misha and Ben know what Charles had written on the paper. Thomas does not know what Charles originally wrote on the paper. But after seeing the house, he understands that the door of this house has been closed with mud. He thinks that Ben must have made this change, so he goes out and says that the door of the house has been closed and mud has been applied to it. But Game Master Elba says that your answer is wrong, and now Thomas is shocked. What are you saying? Looking at the house, it is clearly visible that there is wet mud on the wall near the door, meaning what will be the change? But Elba said, no, actually, Charles had written only a dog in the paper. But Misha from your team not only made a dog but also made a big house for it. After that, when Ben went inside, he knew that your attention would not go to the dog because the house is much more than that. It was big. You thought that the real model was the house, and you recognized its transformation. You didn't even think about the dog. Actually, Ben not only sealed the door of the house but also attached a small tail to the back of that small dog, which perhaps you did not pay attention to. You did not even recognize the change that was on the original model. That is why Charles and Ben win in this round. But friends, when the next round comes, Misha and Thomas win, and now in the third round, Ben's team writes water on the paper. Seeing this, Thomas makes something like water from clay, and he knows that when Ben comes inside, he will definitely do some tampering with it, and then it will be very difficult for Misha to give the right answer. Hence, to help Misha, he divided a block of clay into two parts. He writes the word water in the middle and closes it back, and he is very happy that this time we will win. but the exact opposite happens. Ben goes inside and makes some changes on that model and comes out, and then Misha goes inside. Well, she doesn't even understand what it is and what model it is, but then she looks at those blocks of clay, and there is some mark on one of the blocks. Misha understands that Thomas must have left a clue inside it. She also takes off that block and opens it to see that there is a word written in it, and instead of saying water, it comes out and says ice. Now Thomas gets angry after hearing this. How can this happen? Ben tells me that I knew that you would definitely leave some clue for Misha, that is why I also saw that block, and by erasing the word water, which you had written inside it, I wrote ice. You yourself are trapped in your trap, Thomas, now be afraid. It seems that we may lose this game. On the other hand, Terusa is shown, he and Michael see some master computers in a place in which some places have been marked in red. Michael says that from Nick's words, I thought that this was a big level operation. Terusa says that it seems to me to be a very big military operation, and on the map this place is marked as the boss, that is, Nick's boss will be at this location. It seems that he is from China. Coming there, they search that place, and then Terusa sees a button there, which, on pressing, the two shelves there start moving automatically, and in the middle are all the magical keys of Nick, but their bad luck was this. At that very moment, Nick comes inside. Terusa hurriedly puts all the keys in his bag, and seeing the keyboard completely empty, Nick laughs instead of getting scared. His men say that they must not have gone very far, we have to catch them soon. But look at Nick, he doesn't have any tension at all. He says, no problem, they can't go anywhere. Saying this, he goes out very comfortably, and both of them are hiding inside and listening to them. Then Terusa says to Michael, you come back safely after some time, I will go first. Michael also agrees and reaches the bungalows there with the bag, but when he opens the bag, there is not a single key in it. He gets shocked that what kind of magic this is. I myself had put all the keys in it, so now Terusa takes out one of his magical keys and, with the help of Yuki, calls the monster and says that Yuki and I would like to play a game for the suite, but before playing the game, I want to ask you this. That I had taken out 50 of Nick's magical keys from his safe and kept them in this bag, but now all the keys are missing. Then Monster reveals that you cannot take the magical keys anywhere without the permission of their owner, no matter how many you want. Steal the keys from Nick every now and then, but all the keys will return back to him. On the other hand, Thomas decides to use his superpower to win this round, about which he had not told anything to anyone till now. So he makes a circle with his hand on the door, a magical circle is formed there, and then two inhuman hands move towards him from behind, and with this the scene ends here. And with this scene Arcade MA series part 3 ends. For part 4, like the video, comment, and share your favorite game in the comment. And the fourth part is the last part of this series. It is very thrilling, so do not miss it at any cost. Thanks for watching.